I'm pleased to be joined by Scott Hartwig, the recipient of the Emerging Civil War Book Award for this year. Scott, congratulations.
Well, thanks, Chris. It's a huge honor to be you're a great organization, and to have an organization like that recognize I dread the thought of the place as means a lot to me.
So, and of course, um, we've got 8 pounds of books here in 2 volumes between I Dread the Thought of the Place and its predecessor to Antietam Creek. Um, Scott, this is a comprehensive examination of the entire Antietam campaign from beginning to end. Um, Briefly, what was your objective as you decided to really get into the weeds with this project?
Yeah, I wanted to tell the complete story of the Antietam campaign, not just a part of it. So that's why it wasn't one volume. I wanted the first volume to get into depth about the siege and capture of Harper's Ferry, which is often kind of ignored and or short shrifted, and also the Battle of South Mountain, which was a pretty significant fight in its own right. I felt those battles needed an in-depth sort of coverage, and the rest of the campaign around it. So to make the book semi-reasonable in length, you couldn't tell the whole story in one volume. And that enabled me to have a second volume, which told the story of the Battle of Antietam and the end of the campaign, leading all the way up to George McClellan's relief from command. And what I wanted particularly the second book to do is to make people feel the battle, not just understand the battle. And I wanted them to understand the major decisions that the commanders made, but the commanders is not the main focus of the book. The main focus of the book is the people who lived the battle, the people who had to fight the battle, people who had to clean up after the battle. And that is the story that really breathes life into this. As I wrote in my foreword, you can't understand the battle when you're hovering over it and looking down. You got to get down into the corn rows and into the weeds and go through it. And then you start to see the real battle that these soldiers fought. Because I think a lot of times we sanitize these events and we try to glorify them and make them more noble than they were. And I wanted it to be warts and all. I mean, the cowards, the heroes, the savagery, the compassion, all of those things are there. It's not all one thing or another thing. It was a lot of different things. And I wanted that to be the story.
Well, I think this is going to stand as a definitive account of the story for a generation. It's a marvelous work, and I congratulate you.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you.